Good morning. Welcome to Market Day Report. Welcome to a Monday. It's an interesting trading week because we'll throw a holiday right in the middle. Well, on a Thursday, if you will. So things will really start tapering off come Wednesday afternoon. And then we have an abbreviated trading session on Friday. So that kind of sets the stage for us. Now let's talk about the actors on that stage. And well, the corn market is where we start, and we're down 2 pennies as we open the corn market. December 423.5. The March contract at 433 is off 2 1/4 cents. And again, looking at December first notice on the corn market, soybeans January 5 1/4 higher. 988 3/4. Deferreds up a nickel, including May at 1010 3/4. Let's run through the wheat market for just a moment, and we'll start with the Chicago contract in July, down 7, 575 3/4. July Kansas City at 572.5. That was off 7.5, or is off 7.5. 6 lower on December spring wheat at 580. And in New York cotton futures, the March contract 89 higher, 71.66. Tommy Grisafi, Advanced Trading. Okay, Tommy, what are you watching?
A lot of moving parts here. We got to move over to the stock market real quick. We do have a solid candidate here for Treasury Secretary. What's it have to do with grains? Well, in this case, nothing. It's just fun to talk about. But the Dow Jones is up 500. We're seeing records across the board in the Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ. It's like nothing anymore to say that the Dow Jones is up 500. Just a reminder to folks, in the great crash of 87, the Dow Jones was only down 500, and it was down 22% on the day. When we look over at all the markets, there's incredible volatility. Let me give you one that's interesting, and I can't necessarily say I have an explanation for all these quotes, but gold down $75, silver down $1. Extreme volatility here in so many commodity markets. Look at you, quick on the pen. Now, we'll throw a curveball for you and see if you got your A game out, but natural gas up 238. We're talking 8 and 10% moves in a day here in commodities. Oh my God, Tony, 5 stars for you. Now, with all that excitement, what's going on? What's it have to do with corn? Not a doggone thing. It's first notice day. If you have these futures on, we got to really start working out of those by Wednesday. Otherwise, you're going to become part of the whole delivery process. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, lots of folks jockeying to move around these futures. We will start the delivery process. Noted, we have a holiday on Thursday. We'll be back on Friday, but that's usually an abbreviated thin session. A lot of people going out physically shopping, doing a little Amazon clicking, and a little turkey hangover. So with that, if you think that was exciting, let's take a little commercial break. Then we'll come back and talk about cattle.
Wow, you don't need me at all then. I'm glad you're here. Tommy Grisafi to help us start the week. Market Day Report continues with what he just said after this. It's Market Day Report here on a Monday, and we start the week looking back at a report that came out on Friday afternoon after the close. Cattle on feed report, and for the most part within the trade expectations, at least the lower and upper end estimates. A little different than the average trade guess, but we'll talk about that in a moment with Tommy Grisafi. First off, how are we opening the markets this morning? Let's look. Live cattle, $1.60 higher on the D's at 188.37. February at 189.97, up $1.77. Even the April contract up above 190. It's $1.90 higher at 191.85 a hundredweight. For the feeders, $4.70 higher on the January, trading $259, the March up $3.85, and even the August contract holding on at $262.97. Gains are $3.65. As that's happening, the hog market going the opposite direction. $81.60 on the December, down 7 cents, 25 cents lower on the February at $85.42, and 2 chiclets lower on the April at 89.80. Remember when you could get chiclets for like a penny? Well, now it's a nickel lower, so you can see what happened. Price of chiclets has gone up, but 89.77. April hogs off a nickel. Tommy Grisafi's with Advanced Trading. Let's talk cattle on feed for just a moment. And again, the numbers falling really within the range, but were there any surprises?
No, I talked to my partner, Brady Huck. He's a cattleman out there in Dodge City, and he also sells LRP insurance. And he said the numbers were, just no big surprises. The big surprise is this news out of Mexico over the weekend, and we'd noticed on the open here before we open at 8:30 that the bid-ask big bids were showing up in the feeder cattle market, and with that, the news. And I can't say that I understand every bit of it. I understand the reaction, though. I'm a markets guy. I understand what the price feeder cattle are doing. Is that Mexico informed the USDA about a case of New World screwworm in southern Mexico border state. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that on TV, but must be a big deal because it's going to definitely lighten up the amount of cattle that come in from Mexico. Now, I will say this. A year ago, when we had a big downdraft in cattle, and in other times I've seen cattle go down, they always say, where are all these cattle coming from? And the answer is usually Mexico. So our partners to the north and south are great trade partners, Canada and Mexico. And this seems like really big news, and the markets are digesting. The headline says likely limiting feeder cattle imports from the country. So I think that'll be a story we're talking about. I did notice a few people were talking about before the open. And we've seen that price action. Extremely high volume trading. Prices being discovered here at the CME Group in both live cattle and feeder cattle, and people are having to adjust positions. These are phenomenal levels. If you have feeder cattle and want to get them protected, that you have several choices. We're going to recommend for people to buy a put. Keep that upside open. Who knows how high this can go? So many people come on your show and others and say cattle are really high. These are great levels, but they continue to go higher, no different than a Bitcoin or other markets we see running up. Now, comparing cattle to Bitcoin's a little risky, but boy, looking over at my quote board this morning when we talk stock market, cattle, or anything else, a lot of excitement. And there's so much excitement. You can tell Alex we can go for a few more minutes because he said I cut you short. Nobody cuts Tony St. James short. What do you think, my friend?
Well, you're right on the Bitcoin. After hitting up over $100,000, we're backing off a little bit on that November contract. It'll be interesting to see where we go with the Bitcoin. I do know that normally we talk to you on a Thursday morning at 8:45, but I hope we're not talking on Thursday morning. I hope you're enjoying some time with the family. Tommy Grisafi is with Advanced Trading here on Market Day Report. Again,